The first enemy I'm going to talk about is the loot bug. He will wander around from spot to spot looking for anything he could find, like this brass bell. He's going to bring it back to wherever he decides. So this is where he's deemed his nest. He'll try to bring every item he finds right here. If you get too close to his nest, he'll get angry and try to chase you away. He should give up the fight in a little bit though. This chasing behavior will also happen if you just get too close to him when he's wandering around, but that's a little bit rarer. He will also exhibit that behavior permanently if you steal an item from him until you give that same item back. There's no trading system to be spoken of with the loot bug. The way to kill a loot bug is one of the easiest in the game. Just want to give him a wallop and spin around because he's not great at turning. It's a lot easier if you find a place that is nice and open like this. As you can see, give him a smack. I could basically spin around indefinitely because he's really, really bad at turning. So you give him smacks when he gets near you until he dies. Takes 3 hits. Should be very simple. You shouldn't even take damage from it most of the time. The next enemy I'm going to talk about is the snare flea. When he spawns, he's going to run around until he finds a nice spot to set up camp. So he decided that this spot would be a nice spot to set up. And he's actually correct because it's right in front of a doorway. So if you're coming from this doorway, it's going to be basically impossible to see the snare flea. So good job for him. When you get near him, he'll drop down and he will try to climb onto your head. When he does, he'll drop all your items. And if you have a shovel on you, you could look around on the ground until you pick it up and just beat him to death. If you see a snare flea and you're near an exit, which I am not, but I will try my hardest, you could take aggro and try to run your way over to the exit the best you can. And when you get to the exit, he will die as soon as you leave. The snare flea is probably the best reason you would want a flashlight. Most of the time, it's a huge waste of an inventory slot, but it could really come in clutch on moons like Experimentation and Assurance when snare fleas are extremely common. Because if I turn the flashlight off, he becomes much, much harder to see. If you are attacked by a snare flea and you're not next to a fire exit, main exit, and you don't have a shovel or any sort of killing weapon with you, you are basically screwed if they manage to land on your head. The best thing you could do is find a pit to jump off of because it will kill the snare flea when you die. The bunker spider is a fairly easy enemy to defeat because it moves so slowly. So you can run backwards and just hit it in the head with a shovel until it dies. You could basically loop around the entire facility for as long as you want with the spider chasing you, because they move so slowly that you could actually regain stamina while you're doing it. So you want to find a nice open space like this, where you could walk backwards for a long time without bumping into anything. This way you don't even need to look backwards while you're killing it. You just hit it with the shovel until it dies. If you're too unlucky to find a spot like this though, there is a more risky strategy you could do, which involves jumping over it. You should be able to make the jump unless there's something where your head is, in which case you'll probably die. But you could just jump back and forth for as long as you want, and you should be able to kill the spider. When the spider's on his last hit point, he will move a lot faster. So look at his movement speed now. It's a little bit faster than my walking speed and a lot slower than my running speed. I just hit him 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now he is a lot faster than he was before, It's easier for him to catch up, and you'll actually eventually die from running out of stamina. The Thumper is like a more deadly spider, but I actually find him to be a lot easier to kill. You can run around in circles because he sucks at turning. Jump over his head, just smack him with a shovel until he dies. When you're hitting him, you want to take a couple steps backwards in between each shovel hit. So I'm going to jump over him and just take a step back each time I hit him with the shovel. It takes only 4 hits to kill a Thumper, and it's really not too difficult. Another thing is when you're aiming your shovel hits, you want it to visually look like you're hitting them in the head with your shovel, because the shovel hitbox is actually pretty accurate, so it's a great way to line up the hitbox. The Masked is one of the easiest enemies to kill with a shovel. All you gotta do, hit him once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Once you get that first hit, it's basically impossible for them to actually land the kill on you. The Masked is actually so easy to kill that once you land that first hit, you barely even have to move. You just keep standing there and it'll be stunned every shovel hit. If you have the kitchen knife, you should not need to move at all. For the Maneater on Adamance, you could run down this pit and make sure to pick him up, and then drop him on the rock, and he should be unable to get off the rock as long as you're nearby him. And from here, just give him a good old 5 smacks with a shovel, and he's dead. It's important to note that if you leave him on the rock and you move away, he will eventually teleport off, so you actually do want to kill him here. If you're in the facility with Maneater and you find Belt Room, you could drop him on the scaffolding right here and give him a smack and jump out. When he grows into an adult, you just give him a smacking. He might run away from you, but just chase him around until he dies. The giant sapsucker has a lot of kill spots on Adamance. Right here is next to one of them. When she goes to sleep, you could grab one of those eggs and run over to the same spot where you killed the Maneater earlier. And you just gotta wait for her to wake up. Jump on here, your egg, and give her a smacking. Sometimes you need to bait aggro because she likes to wander away. Eventually she's gonna settle down somewhere, and you could just hit her the whole 28 times until she dies. And just like that, she has passed away, and you are 3 eggs richer. Another Kiwi kill spot is right here behind this rock. Wait for her to fall asleep and sneak up, grab one of her eggs. Oh wow, that sucks. Get over here, drop your egg, and smack her 28 times. If she's ever in a weird spot like this, you could walk over in this corner and then quickly back. This is probably the scariest kill spot because she's just so unpredictable behind this rock. Eventually you should get it done. The final kill spot I will talk about, and the last one that I know of on Adamance, is this short bridge right here. You're going to sneak up to those eggs. And jump over here. Drop that bad boy about there. And watch as she runs up right to the egg and waits to die. This one I think is the safest kill spot out of all 4 of them. But I would try not to break this bridge beforehand. It makes it a lot harder. If she's ever in a weird spot, you could jump on the land for a second and then back down on your bridge until she stands right above you and accepts her fate. The Nutcracker is one of the most dangerous enemies that you could try to fight, but it is also the most rewarded due to its shotgun that it drops on death. The intended way to kill Nutcracker is to bait his shotgun shots around a ledge and hit him a couple times when he's reloading, and rinse and repeat until he dies. This generally works fine, but it is kind of risky and entirely map dependent. Here I found a nice loop where I could basically fight the Nutcracker indefinitely, but a lot of the times you will not be able to find a spot like that where a Nutcracker is. Thankfully though, there are other ways that you could try to kill the Nutcracker. One way you could try to kill the Nutcracker is by completely destroying its AI by jumping over its head. You want to land kind of directly behind it if you can. It ensures the best chances of breaking the AI. And it will stop looking as long as it's aggroed. And if you're on client, it will move, but if you're on host, it will not move at all. So you could just stand behind it and get until it dies. You don't need to break its AI to negate damage. You just have to jump behind it quick enough that it shoots before it turns. Like that. It is actually fairly consistent to dodge shots from the Nutcracker by just jumping over its head. A method of killing the Nutcracker that I have for a long time heard about, but have never really enjoyed personally, was to crouch under his feet whenever he tried to shoot the shot, and to go back up when he was reloading and before he shot. It is semi-consistent, but I found it easier just to kill him normally, and it was a little more rewarding as well. That was until I found my own method where you crouch straight through him on the first shot, and then from then on, you just try to angle yourself at the back of his feet the entire time. This way, he should never really be able to kick you, and you could get as close as you want, which was my main issue when I was trying to do it the normal method. If you want to, you could crouch straight through him every time he tries to shoot. Of course, no method is perfect, so I would recommend experimenting for yourself what works for you. If you drop a clipboard on the side here, when a baboon hawk comes by, they're going to try to pick it up, so they're going to climb up here, and they won't be able to reach it, so they're just going to stay on the top of your ship for the entire game, and it basically takes them out of the equation. So I wouldn't even recommend trying to kill baboon hawks. It's mostly a waste of time. Another enemy that I don't think it's worth trying to kill is the eyeless dog, and this is because you could easily bait them to where you want to go, and it's a lot quicker and easier than taking however many hits it takes to kill them. It's over 10. So when you're ready, you're just going to make as much noise as you want. Dog, 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 until he gets mad. You're just going to jump to the side when he gets near and crouch away. And you could rinse and repeat this for as long as you want until the dog is sufficiently out of your way. Dogs also cannot hear you jumping no matter what you do. So you could actually jump and sprint away, and he will not be able to hear you doing it. There are two ways to kill an eyeless dog. The first way is to make a lot of sound near a wall and just hope he charges into that wall indefinitely, which he will often not do, which is why it's not worth killing him. From here you should be able to hit the dog at the feet until he dies. The intended way to kill a dog is a lot slower, but I actually find it more consistent. Still not very worth it. You're gonna get it mad. Dog, 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 doggy, 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 dog, 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 dog. And then you're gonna smack it as it's charging at you, and just rinse and repeat until he dies. A lot of the time you're gonna whiff. It's no biggie. By now, I probably could have baited it a good distance away, and I would be at less risk of dying. Yeah, that took several minutes. That would have been probably a couple in-game hours just to kill one dog. For the sake of time, I will only cover ways to deal with the giant on Adamance. For giants near the ship at Adamance, you're going to get their attention first. And run down here. And simply wait for him to make it all the way around. When he gets kind of close, you're gonna run back to where you're dropping off your items at fire. And get on top of the tree. The tree is an invulnerable spot from any enemy in the entire game, and the giant will be baited over there, and you should have nothing to worry about for the rest of your transferring experience. When it comes to playing main, you're usually going to be dropping off the side here. And if a giant spots you over here, your best bet is to probably jump on top of the house, and your job for the rest of the game is just to take the aggro of the giants, because there's pretty much nothing you could do. If you want, you could walk behind the house as well and get his aggro like this. But again, there is very little you could do once the giant has spotted you over here. You can see if I try to get back up, he just sees me and I die. If you're being chased by a giant and you're near the bridge over here, you could run across it, and when he tries to get across, he should break the bridge and fall down. And you will be safe. This is pretty much the best use that the bridge has after you get across it the very first time at the start of the day. Earth Leviathans, you're just going to drop all your loot that has weight, and when you see the dirt, you're going to run and kind of just pray. If you're trying to transfer and there's an Earth Leviathan in the way, you should try to steer clear from any of your teammates, because they might trigger the Earth Leviathan and kill you by accident. If you're being haunted by a ghost girl, you could jump up on here and she will be unable to kill you. She's gonna try to go on the top of the ship because she thinks that's where you are, but you're not. So you could actually live ghost girl from that. Additionally, she will only spawn behind you. So if you have no line of sight behind you, like if you move the terminal here and just play terminal like this, then she will never spawn a single time. Coilheads have a really hard time opening doors. Additionally, when they're deactivated, you can just walk right through them. Hygro deer, as soon as they spawn, will always know where everybody is in the facility and slowly work their way towards them. Hygro deer move a lot faster when a boombox is playing music. If you're holding a boombox, they won't actually get near enough to hurt you until you walk into them. Barbers are susceptible to stun grenades. And when they're stunned, this is kind of a bad example, you could walk right through the scissors and they won't kill you. Coils are also extremely susceptible to stun grenades. They'll be stunned for quite a long time. The Artifice kill spot for Maneater is right in this corner over here by fire. The Maneater will leave shortly after being stuck into the wall, so you need to make sure to kill him fast. Old birds are one of my favorite enemies in the entire game because they will kill anything and everything that they could see. Additionally, they are not too hard to bait. If I could get it outside, you could just strafe around the rocket blasts, and if one gets near you, be sure to jump, because that will negate a lot of the damage. And when they are nearby, they will try to grab you, but they're really, really bad at it. If I could bait another grab here, yep. Just completely whiff. The hitbox on the grab is very small and it's right on the claw, so as long as you steer clear of the claw, then you should be good to go. There, I got hit by it. They additionally don't have amazing object permanence, so what you could do is run around these buildings until they lose track of you. And just like that, they have lost me. And of course, you can trap them inside these buildings. Whoa. A bracken can be killed with a single shotgun blast. There is also a video on how to trap Jester and Coilhead in mansion interior layouts, which I have linked in the description, and also a bunch of safe spots in the facility, which I have also linked in the description.